And then after that happened, I went back to the chairs, and then I got to the ambulance right away. So at first I remember that I had a baby. I had a baby, wallet and phone. So I took the baby and I threw it. I threw it. I was like, you know what? All this stuff that I be doing, smoking baby, smoking this and smoking that. So they tried to give it back to me. I said, no, I don't want that baby. I don't want a baby. I don't want a baby. I don't want a baby. So we got to the room, and I was laying in the hospital bed, waiting for the doctors, whatever. The next thing I know, I threw up. I threw up all over the bed, and I go around asking people to pray for me. And I ask people to pray for me and my friends, and all the other stuff. It was the lady, and I think she was like a housekeeper, I think, and she prayed for me, and she would pray for me, and she would pray for me, as well. And she was very sweet lady. She's very very outgoing person. It was the right lady. And I asked her to pray for me and my friends and everything else. And those people are very good people. And I thank God to let us to experiment the something that we don't need. And my aunt told us, if you see something not right in this picture, you better take it and run with it. So basically, we think things that we don't need to be doing, like people talking about committing suicide, overdose, do any other thing. We know what it feels like. We know what it feels like being dead. So we don't want to people, as general, like the young kids and everybody else, do not use drugs. That's something that you don't know about. And always do something right. And don't be a follower, and don't be follow what other people do. If you see something's not right with it, something that missed with things, don't take it that advice, because God might give you a second life. If you mess it up the third time, you're not gonna make it. So God give us a chance to experiment things and see what it's about. So thank God for His mercy. Thank God for me and my friend, and I thank God for protecting us through the night. Because if it wasn't for God, we'd not be here to share with you with the story that we had in the last Saturday. So we thank God for every bit of Him, what He did. And I thank my guardian angel, because I have a lot of people that death in my family, that guardian angel, his guardian angel, and they were there that night. They were there. And I thank Him to allow us to experiment, to learn something that we should never do.
Only thing I can remember is I was walking back and forth. I was throwing stuff out my apartment. I was dancing, or as some would say, shouting. I was pulling the hair out. He had to retwist these back in my hair today. Because the ones I had in my hair, I was ripping them out my head. And I couldn't even feel anything while I was ripping them out. And of course, I was praying in the Holy Ghost, screaming the name of Jesus. As I was screaming the name of Jesus, I was vomiting all over the place. I remember my aunt came, and she was going in and out. I could someone hear her, someone couldn't hear her. And she was asking me, what happened. I told her what happened the best way I could tell her. And, of course, as others were telling me, just like she was, don't do that again. Don't make stuff like that again. Because she could have died. And we could have really died. We could have. And then I do remember the nurse lady, she kept walking up to me because she wanted to know what had happened. And I told her. And so by that time, it was time for them to discharge me. I think they had already discharged him. But it was time for them to discharge me, and at first I didn't feel safe, and I was still strongly out of it. Because he said it was a 24-hour thing. That 24 hours took forever to get there, but it finally came.
Whatever drug that you need to take for 24 hours to ward off. So with a 24 hours to ward off the marijuana, any other drug, I'm saying general, like any other type of drug that you put out system, it takes 24 hours to clean your body out. So when you do like alcohol, cocaine, whatever that may be, it takes 24 hours to clear that out. So we need to drink a lot of water, Gatorade, ginger ale, a lot of fluids, like green tea with the fluid and stuff. Clean out and stick them out, though. I told him it don't last for 24 hours. He was kind of panic that he's not going to make it 24 hours, but he did it.
Yeah, it was a very scary experience. It was like an out-of-body experience that I was having. And I do remember my auntie said she had to leave out because her daughter had to do something. So my uncle, her husband, was there, and he was sitting in the lobby with Shaquille. Like I said, I wasn't ready yet to leave because I didn't feel like myself. But then I started to feel like myself a little bit, but not all the way. So they carried me to the car, and then after that, I was brought back home that evening, and I was laying in the bed, and I was slowly coming to myself. So that's all that I remembered from the whole entire ordeal, the whole entire situation. And I've learned now to don't do that again. I'm not one that does stuff like that. I'm not. I don't know what I was thinking about trying it. If I would have known that would have been the situation, I would have never tried it because I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And I haven't. And I'm making a promise. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, because God allows people to do things for themselves. And it's just like people, I'm going to say like, of a real life. Some people who die, they die for a good 20 minutes and they left their body and visit to heaven or visit to hell or whatever that may be. So when they had came back to their bodies, the person was able to tell us the story which he had experienced during his death. And when the person experienced of his death, he was able to just tell the story to say, you know what, hell is not the place to be, and this is the worst hell that you want to be in, and this and that. People were able to come back to tell the stories about what they had experienced and what they had been through. Same thing, we to come back to tell you a story where we had experience about doing drugs and get involved with any type of drug that we experienced. So, same thing for people who had an experience, they just share the story to any other young kids and adults that are older than us. But we can't tell people what to do, but we can give them advice. Either they take the advice or don't take the advice.
Exactly. So, coming from me, I want to encourage you. First and foremost, I would like to, of course, apologize because, like I said, this is not my character, this is not my behavior, this is not how the way I was raised, and I have most definitely learned my lesson, and I won't be participating in anything drug-related or alcohol-related. But, of course, I want to encourage you guys that, drinking and smoking is not the answer. It will kill you. When I I almost died last night. And it was scary for me. So I want to encourage you to not smoke your problems away, to not drink your problems away. Don't do it because it's not worth it. It's not worth leaving your life, and then you're leaving behind those that truly love you. You may not think someone loves you, but they do. And whenever you're having an issue, just go to, of course, Dr. Jesus and let him, fix it for you. But those are my words of encouragement. Don't do it. It's not worth it, especially not worth your life.
And always put God first, because this is the problem what we have now. When we forget about God and we do our things that we can do our own without Him, it's not true. Because we cannot do without Him. Because if it wasn't without Him, We're not standing here to tell our stories. We're not standing here to share with you guys. So we all need God. And if some people who don't believe in God, we pray for those people who don't believe in God. And hopefully God to give them mercy to know God or know who God is. And know that God is the powerful God, the Son of God, that everything that God can do by himself in this world. And God is real, and God is always real. So if you have any problem with the life, with famine, drugs, lost home, homeless, or whatever, get on your knees and pray about it, and let God lead you the way, and let God to give you something. And another thing that you cannot do is rush God. Do not rush God. God will give you on His time and His blessing to you. So continue to pray. Drugs, any other thing is not an option.
It's not an option. Like he said, it's not. So, I mean, like at the end of the day, if you want to continue to do that, that's on you. We're not forcing you to stop, but we're just encouraging you to not do it because it's not good for you. And I just hope that, because I don't know how many people will be watching this video. I hope a lot do. And respond with your love and prayers and concerns, but we can't force you to stop.
Yeah.
But
only thing that we can do your advice, either you take it or you don't take it, but we will continue to pray for you regardless.
Well, guys, that's it. This is, of course, part 2 to our story. But you guys have a blessed day. Think smart. You know, don't think with your mind, as your mind is not always your best avenue. So think smart when it comes down to doing things. Because, you know, me and him could have been a memory this morning. Our families should have been planning our funeral services. But I thank God that he was gracious and, you know, thoughtful enough. He didn't have to do it. He didn't.
Yeah.
But I thank God that he decided to give us another shot at life. One that we would not take for granted ever again.
Planning the funeral, I have a daughter myself, and she's 7 years old, her name is Kaylee. And my matter is, if I leave this world right now, what my daughter will do after she loses her father, her everything. And I cannot leave her behind. If there was something happened to me, then they have to plan up the funeral. And I would be very disappointed of my loved one, and I was disappointed in my mom. My mom passed away 4 years ago, and I don't want to disappoint her as well. It turned into her grave for something that I'm not supposed to do, and I made her very disappointed because that's not how she raised her child to be doing any other drugs. But this time I would do better. And we not perfect. We learn our mistakes. And God allowed us to make mistakes so we can learn from it. So God allowed us to make mistakes so we can learn from it. So that's all I have to say.
Well, guys, until next time, love you guys. Please send your love, your encouragement, and keep us in your prayers as we're, like I said, still in the process of recovery, but we have gotten to ourselves and we know exactly what to do and what not to do. And that is something that we are never going to do ever again. Because I assure you, if we do it again, most likely we won't be as fortunate as we are right now. Well, you guys be blessed. Love you all.